Selkie is mid-heist, sneaking around the old mansion in the dead of night, hoping to fill her pockets with loot. At first, she only finds art supplies and makeup, not the most valuable but useful to Selkie. Eventually, she finds silverware that she stuffs into her backpack, but as she advances through the mansion, she startles a cat. Selkie's suspicions that the feline is no ordinary cat is confirmed when it displays supernatural abilities, as she quickly departs from the mansion with some parkour. Having made good on her escape, she returns to Chip's bar. Surprised to find it still open, decides to fence her ill-gotten gains immediately. Unfortunately, Chip is not there, so she wanders the docks till dawn. Once Chip arrives in the morning, Selkie tells him of her successful heist and fences her loot. Selkie spends the next week living off the profits of the heist until she fully recovers from her ordeal. She returns to Chip for another tip, but instead he offers her an easy job that pays well. All she needs to do is keep lookout, and if things go wrong, maybe lend a bit of muscle. She readily agrees. On the day of the job, Selkie meets Chip's interesting companions and doesn't embarrass herself too much in front of them whilst keeping watch. Before long, the Sunblade arrives, and Selkie manages to keep him distracted, whilst giving warning that the law has arrived to her associates. Despite Selkie's constant distractions, Chip and many of Selkie's new associates can't escape, and so get arrested. Fortunately, Selkie manages to steal the key to the manacles and gets it into the hands of Chip unseen. After doing what she can, Selkie calls it a day. The following morning, she meets up with the Sunblade, who gives her some tutoring and teaches her how to read magic. How long can Selkie play both sides? Will she become an academic? What secrets will the lizard man prisoner reveal? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Hello. Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Happy as a clam.
Are clams happy?
I don't actually think so. That seems like a pretty shitty
I don't think
life
they have
to
a
me.
nervous system. It seems like you need more complex physiology to experience such emotions.
Well, you know, ignorance is bliss. And if they don't have any physiology, they must any nervous system or complex nervous system, they should be happy. Right?
The nervous system is just distributed, right? No central nervous system.
Don't know anything.
What was your
about plant
accept
physiology.
before I derailed us on this tangent? Why aren't you happy, Neal?
Lauren's been sick since Friday and hasn't.
What does that have to do with you? Are you sick?
I've been a bed nurse for days, and
Mm.
my wife's happiness is my happiness, and when she's sick, it makes me unhappy. I don't know if that's how all relationships work, but you know.
Signed up to get married, and here you are changing bedpans. Not quite what you imagined, is it?
Changing sheets because they get so soaked with sweat. Making meals.
Ew.
Many, many trips to the grocery stores for supplies.
Yeah. Do you need to get more supplies than you would ordinarily? Is she eating more? You know, what kind of sickness does she have?
Well, it's things like, you know, wants more beverages, not just like water or tea or coffee. You know, doesn't want any coffee. Wants something pleasant to drink while she's lying in bed watching Frasier all day. So I've been making her virgin mimosas. Seems to be going pretty well.
So that's just orange juice, right?
Orange juice and seltzer water.
Oh, okay.
So, like fizzes and bubbles. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What about you? How's life?
Good. Yeah. Same old.
People in
Nothing really to
Seattle
report.
panicking, losing their shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, full blown panic. We talked about this on Chit Chat. We don't need another
Yeah.
coronavirus talk show.
No. Well then, shall we begin?
I suppose.
Where are we?
I was going to ask you that. We're here in Solstace, jewel of the coast, dockside city, bastion of civilization.
Lovely.
And you, I think when we last left, were spending a couple busy days in the library, learning spells, maybe leveling up, right? Did you decide how to allocate your thief skills? Maybe you did that before.
Yes, I did already allocate my thief skill.
Okay, then.
Yes. Those are allocated. I have still just 2 spell slots, though, because I haven't leveled up as a wizard yet. And, let's see. I wanted to keep a low profile for a little while, and I think that's what I did in the library. So I'm ready to bring my head above
Depends
water.
who you're trying to keep a low profile from. You've certainly caught the notice of the diviners by going around them to the Sunblade to borrow their magical gear. Last episode, you did some quests, if you will, for the local Thieves Guild, playing both ends against the middle. And yeah,
time to make a return to the that place. The tavern. The tavern whose name.
The first rule of that place is you don't talk about that place.
And the second rule is you don't even remember its name. I would like to go to the place.
I don't think we've given it a name.
Good.
It's mute this thing. Yeah. The local Thieves Guild makes their, or at least does their business out of an unmarked tavern on the docks. I don't know if we've established what they themselves call it or how you would refer to it in Thieves' Cant, but yeah, it stands pretty nondescript hangout.
Oh. You getting the music twice? I feel like I hear music twice. Am I crazy pants here?
You're I think I'm only getting it once, but you're probably playing the stream or playing no.
I have 2 browsers and they were both playing it.
That
was a mistake. It's okay now. Right, so we go back to the place.
Spot.
The
dock spot.
Is that its name?
It's a good name.
Dock spot?
I don't know. It seems like a good thievy way to refer to it. I think that it has a name as part of the design, or that it has no name as part of the design.
I can deal with it. I like it. Or I can.
Where are you staying, by the way? You're still at the Traveler's Oasis by the East Gate?
Yes. That seems to be a good place to lay low and hang out.
All right. And you have returned the magic prism to the diviners? To the Sunblade?
To the Sunblade, because I don't know where he got it from. So
You do, you were there, but sure.
Yeah. I failed to learn... I didn't learn Read Magic again, did I?
I don't know. I think you failed it again. I think you failed Read Magic again. Oh, no. You're still level 1, so you haven't had a chance to relearn.
Right. I learned Alarm and... Armor?
I think one other spell.
Comprehend Languages.
Yeah.
Learned Alarm and Comprehend Languages. Okay. So, on this day... I'll, of course, have Nahal's Reckless Dreamer memorized. My armor spell is still going on, unless you need me to cast it again. And
Fine.
I will take a...
I think chat lost the music, maybe.
You did the wrong browser. There we go. Now they should have it. What do I want my second spell to be? I'm just gonna cruise with one... No, I'll take an Unseen Servant. I'll take an Unseen Servant. It's the way to go. And then I head to the dock spot. Oh.
All right. Any particular route or precautions you take getting there?
No. I'll just take the usual route through the regular streets.
All right. You wander through the streets of Solstace. They form a loose grid, so there's usually more than one way to get where you're going.
Right,
But eventually you meander through town. Probably like it's about a half mile, so it's at 20 minutes across town.
Yeah, 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. You do notice a preponderance of guards on the south end of the docks. Perhaps not too much of a surprise, but...
Preponderance. That is a word I have not heard.
Did I use it correctly?
Quality or fact of being greater in number, quality, or importance.
I did use it correctly.
Preponderance of women among older people.
Oh.
Okay. Learn things every day. Because men don't live as long. We do stupid shit.
No need to be sexist. Your female characters do stupid shit too.
Yeah, but long life has a heavily known female bias. Don't quite make it as long. Unless we get married, and then our life expectancy goes up, and our wives' life expectancies go down.
Is that true?
It is true.
Married women don't live as long as unmarried women?
I believe that is the correct statistic, but I'm working on something I read a few years back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. You make your way to the spot.
The spot.
It's unmarked tavern. And you walk on in.
All right.
Get some dice out. Just because we'll probably need them eventually. And... Yeah. You consume the years from your wife. Good statistics, chat. All right. You walk into this bar. There are a few other disreputable patrons and a dwarven barkeep in lieu of the usual chip.
In lieu of the usual chip?
Yeah.
I expect he'll be gone for a little while, but I will swagger up to the bar. Confident.
Did you take any particular precautions? What do you want? Can you describe your character for me and for the viewers?
Absolutely. I am 5'4", 125 pounds,
Neal.
female, 38 years of age.
You've been playing this game for how long? And this is the most creative you can get with your character descriptions?
I'm getting
just
there.
Read the first 3 boxes of your character sheet.
Selkie is wearing dark clothes, dark hair, dark eyes. She scans the room for people who might wish her ill as she enters, but also feels that this is a safe place and that she's made enough inroads that even should someone wish her ill, she should be safe here. So the scan is cursory as she walks in and directly up to the tavern, to the bar itself.
The dwarf behind the bar gives you the stink eye, or maybe that's just his regular eye. Don't I know you? He says.
I try to return the stink eye. He said, "Is this dwarf behind the bar? Is he the bartender?"
Yes.
Oh. I give him the stink eye, and then I lean in close, and I say, "Well, aren't you just a chip off the old block?"
Roll a charisma check. Do dwarfs like puns? Nailed it.
This one probably does.
He looks you up and down. You're the one they call Elfie?
Mm-hmm.
You look familiar.
I ought to.
What will it be? He says, looking up and down the bar.
I had a friend who used to tend bar here. He would occasionally ask for help with a couple of things. You know, I was a tutor for him for a while, teaching his children lessons when they didn't turn in their homework.
Tutor. You've, way I heard it, you were, just a contractor. And, Chip's been swept into the bin for the time being. Gotta smooth things over around here a bit.
But luckily he escaped the spider's web, and I think you got me to thank for that. So, as long as we're all friendly and on good terms here, I was wondering if there was anything else you have need of doing.
You presume too much, Elf. We ain't friends. Barely even associates. But you, passed your charisma check, so I suppose I ought to find you a job.
Well, what can I say? Everyone loves Selkie.
When, well, I'll tell you what what message we've been spreading around town is, when the law cracked down on, a friend's shipment, a couple boxes went missing. Marked with the sign of a lizard's tooth.
Mm-hmm.
If these boxes were to be located, unopened, mind you, if this can be helped, there's certainly a hefty reward in it. You're known for your second story work, right?
It's my specialty.
Suppose I could also give you a lead on a few approved climbs.
I would love that. I lean in and listen eagerly.
This one's a ship, he says. The big one.
That's the name of the ship?
No. Ship's name is a skimmer. But looks like more of a sinker, if you ask me. It's that enormous galley moored beyond the docks. They ain't paid their docking fee, but they've been parking out there nonetheless, sneaking small boats in under our nose.
That sounds downright criminal.
Ship's fair game, as are their wares and their warehouses on shore. Such things can be located.
I bob along, taking in the words. Excellent. Was there another one? You made it sound like there were options.
Two not enough for you? All right.
You only said one. Unless you count the ship and the
missing.
warehouses as separate.
They're separate. All eyes are to be on the lookout for our missing cases, and as well as a missing lizard. He says.
Missing lizard?
And he's taken captive. We're not sure if he's squealed or if he's even capable of squealing, but any information on the cases or the beast are much appreciated.
Alright. Thank you kindly, dwarf. And I will slide a pair of silvers his way. And before I leave, I will say, where were the missing lizard tooth boxes last seen?
They were supposed to be offloaded to the southern warehouse, but the delivery was interrupted. Not sure if they're still in the warehouse, or if they've been taken into custody, or if someone swiped them along the way. Just a notice.
And did I see one of the fine Solstace guards sitting on the warehouse steps, keeping an eye and preventing anyone from coming or going?
He nods. Yeah. City Watch is taken up, is occupied the warehouse. Otherwise, I'd take a stroll on down there right now and have a look around.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dwarf. And I will depart. So, I want to look at my 3 options here. There is the ship, the skimmer, who's fair game, as well as any of their wares and their onshore warehouses. There are the boxes marked with a lizard's tooth that may be in this big southern warehouse, maybe not. And then there is the captured lizard folk who I saw get captured and taken to police HQ. So the easiest thing to start with, I think, is going to be this warehouse. The other one would require getting onto a ship at night and getting off again. Doable, but a little bit more cunning. Or breaking into police headquarters, or talking my way into information about police headquarters, which is doable, but difficult as well. So we're going to start with the low-hanging fruit. And... how do we get into that house? I would like to come down and hang out on this dock and dangle my feet over the edge. Southern edge, so I can look in the direction of the warehouse while I dangle my feet. Maybe I'll buy like some fruit from some people on the docks or something to eat, so I have an excuse to sit there and snack. I'll pay 5 copper for something to eat and dangle my feet off the edge.
All right. Your feet can't quite reach the water, but you can still dangle, munch on an apple while you watch. How much did you eat? 5 copper?
Yeah. That's
Got a whole sack of apples.
So I dangle and look. Let's see. I know the warehouse has a sea entrance. I've seen it be used. It has the front door entrance. And I think it has some upper windows that I can scale to, or I don't remember if I climb up or climb down to from this higher ground.
Yeah, I don't think you've been into them, but...
But I think we've discussed them existing. This is exactly what I like. Options.
Yeah,
I think
you see a pair of guards outside of this front entrance. One is like atop the stairs next to the small door, and there's another that looks like he's supposed to be like posted up near the edge, near the water and the big double doors, but he's sort of meandered over to his buddy so they can like chit chat. So he's now at like the base of the stairs.
I think the way with the least amount of detection would be to go by boat, since the only people that could see me would be those at sea, and if it's nighttime and I'm not carrying a lot of lights, I would be practically invisible to them, especially if it's like a cloudy or moonless night. Well, what is the lunar cycle like?
I feel like we established that last time, but it's a strange world we live in. Actually, I feel like it was a full moon when you did your last heist, and it's been about a week since. So it's like a waning gibbous. Some moon, some light, but it is day right now. You could easily kill a few hours.
Yeah, I also take a look at the sky. Is it overcast? Is it clear?
It is overcast, but rather temperate.
Oh. Wait, so you said it's a waning gibbous?
Yes.
Okay, now this is where my astronomy always falls apart.
It's full moon was a week ago.
Right. But
or a little more than a week ago.
When you are approaching a new moon, does the moon trail the sun, or
I don't think that's consistent.
in front of the sun? You know what I'm saying? Like,
know that the lunar cycle and the solar cycle don't necessarily match up in that way.
No, but like when the moon is getting going towards a new moon, is either following the sun or right in front of the sun. And don't remember which one.
I don't either. I don't know that it is consistent in that way. Like I don't think the lunar cycle and the solar cycle are synced up because the
when you
moon
have
is
a full
orbiting
moon
the Earth on the 30-day cycle, and
the moon and the sun are on opposite sides of the Earth. And on half moons, the moon is 90 degrees off. But does the moon go this way, or does it go this way?
I don't know. This is a fantasy world, so it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna. It's an interesting question, but I don't think now is the time to do this.
What I'm trying to say is, if the sun has just set, is the moon going to be up or is it going to be down? That's the question.
It doesn't matter. You're irritating me with the amount of detail you're expecting. We can wait until a time of night where you have the light conditions you would so desire. I don't think it's important to figure out whether that's really after sundown or sunset, but when we have 2 minutes of downtime, we can look it up.
I understand. Then that's
it's also a fantasy world, so I can alter the fabric of reality to suit our convenience.
Yes, you can. I will.
Now you've infected me with your mind virus, Neal, and I can't stop thinking about this.
I'll need a boat. So I want to go and walk up and down the docks and see if there's someone who.
Okay, so when the moon is waning, it rises after sunset, transits after midnight, and sets after sunrise. So it follows the sun.
Okay.
When it's waxing, so when it's approaching a full moon, it will rise before sunset and sets at some point during the night. So this is probably, other than having a full moon, this would be better light conditions than if we're the other side of the cycle.
Got it. Cool. So I want to walk up and down the docks and see if I can find a person who rents boats. You know, if I can take like a little rowboat out for a pleasure cruise or to see the sights or something. I don't know if they do boat rentals since you don't have like credit cards. I don't know what's to prevent me from just like fucking off with it. Maybe a large
I don't
down
think
payment.
that's a thing, but you could find someone with a rowboat and try and convince them to let you borrow it.
All right, I want to look for an old fisherman, and I mean a fisherman. Someone, caked with sea salt, wrinkled faces, narrowed eyes from staring out over the shiny water for his whole life. Someone who's sort of sea blind from it all. The oldest, saltiest man you can find.
It's midday, so on your initial pass strolling up and down the docks, you do not find what you're looking for. All the fishermen are probably out to sea, making their way back, or maybe they're already drunk in a bar somewhere. But you do not find an old fisherman of your description on first pass.
Well then, it's time to take to the local bars down on the waterfront. I will, except for the dock spot, I will pop into a few of them and look for old curmudgeon-y men.
The bars at noon are full of old curmudgeon-y men, caked with salt and deep in their cups.
Perfect. I will approach the loneliest looking one. I don't know if I can discern that.
You can find a lonely looking fisherman, looking seaman.
And I will plop down into a chair next to him without introducing myself or anything.
He pauses, drool. dripping off his chin, and he looks over.
Hey, Grandpa.
He looks around. Pauline, I thought... Are you a ghost? He says, reaching out with a hand and attempting to swipe your face to see if you're real.
I will guide his hand to the side of my head so that he, feels that I'm real, and say,
he misses and bumps the tankard on the table, spilling beer all over his lap.
I will. I don't know if we're not civilized enough to have napkins yet, are we? Probably a long ways off.
Oh my!
I will.
He shouts, standing to his feet, and fumbles with his wet crotch.
I will stand and wave for a barmaid or something to bring us a rag.
You get an eye, but it takes a few minutes before they make their way over. In the meantime, What do you say to the fisherman?
I'm not Pauline. My name is Selkie. But
Selkie, he says, stepping back, reaching instinctively for a knife on his belt. But, come to take me away, I see. My time's finally come. All right then. One for the road. He gestures to the barmaid who would come over to see or to serve you, but he puts in the order first. And I think before you can get a word in, she goes off and fetches him another beer.
Have you led a good life? I ask him.
No. Awful, rotten, salty life. But I suppose that's why you're here.
Are you ready?
Is anyone ever?
Yes. But if you're not, we can go for one last row. One last breath of fresh air. One last sea breeze.
Let's have you roll a charisma check just to summarize how this whole interaction is going. Okay. Yeah, just about as expected. He nods. The barmaid returns with his beer. He, neglecting to pay his tab, if he had one, proceeds to walk out the door with the full tankard in his hand.
I will drop 2 gold coins on the table as we leave.
Oh my. Sitting flushed, are we? Alright.
Yeah.
You are up here, I think, is the screeching siren. Which one was the screeching siren?
I think that's it. The ones with the smoke coming from it are the taverns, I thought.
Madame Luxum's. I think this was Madame Luxum's. Maybe the screeching siren was here. Either way.
Once we get out, I will say to the old man, which way to your boat?
Come along, Sealy. And he starts slowly shambling this way down the docks.
I will walk with him and ask more cryptic questions like, do you have any final goodbyes you need to make?
He shakes his head. The
Anyone
sea's already taken everything from me. And the plagues took the rest.
Any unfinished business you would like me to take on for you?
If you see Paula, tell her I'm sorry.
I think she already knows. I think you're going to see her first.
Hmm?
I guess I will...
He approaches a small rowboat and stumbles in. Almost falling overboard, but managing to keep his beer upright. He takes a sip and extends a hand to help you down.
I will take his hand gently and step into the boat and direct him.
You feel solid, he says, and smooth.
Death is sweeter than you can imagine.
He takes a sip. Do you row or do I?
You start. I finish.
He sets the beer down and starts rowing the boat away from shore.
I will... When we're a few hundred feet from shore, I would like to sap him with the hilt of my dagger.
All right. You 100 feet, you say?
A couple hundred feet. Does it work?
Does what work?
Does,
Sap? We're
sap,
gonna have
yeah.
to roll to resolve that. Didn't sound like you made any special precautions, so I'm just gonna roll to... Oops, sorry. All right. He is not surprised, so we're gonna need to resolve this with a roll to hit and the usual sappage.
Okay. Am I behind the rower or before the rower?
He's facing you.
Okay, so he will see it coming, so no back attack. I guess I'll just roll 1d20 and see if I hit the drunken old man. Probably not. I don't think a 2 is going to do it.
You stand up and try to sap him with like the butt of your dagger. Roll a charisma check.
It's all falling apart.
All right. He stands startled. Can we play some more dramatic music?
Yes.
And rocks the boat, letting go of the oars. And he fumbles to defend himself.
Here it is. All right. You said he fumbles to something himself? It's the verb.
Yeah. He stumbles to his feet, letting go of the oars, sending the boat a-rocking, and rolling initiative.
Excellent. Selkie. Yeah. 1d10 plus 2. 4.
All right, you go first.
I will do the same thing. I'm trying to not kill this man, just simply knock him upside the head with my dagger. So I will try and whap him in the head again. The 14.
Okay. You strike him on the chin with your dagger. Do you want to try a sap or do you want to try non-lethal damage?
They are different mechanically, aren't they?
Yeah, I think a sap, you'll take like a -4 to hit, and
Roll for damage, and each point of
Minus
damage is
4 to
5%
hit,
chance
you
to
roll-
knock him unconscious
Yeah.
or something. That's
yeah,
really
you roll for
shitty.
damage, and each point of damage is 5% chance.
That's terrible. I'm just gonna try and do non-lethal damage, which I think
So
also has
that'll
a
be the
minus 4 to
same,
hit.
minus 4 to hit, and then you'll do reduced damage, and yeah.
So I'll do
So do
1
a D4.
damage, half of which is temporary.
I don't think it can. I think I'll just make that a 1. I think I'll do it 1 minimum. So I think that's 1 point of temporary damage. So you just smack him in the chin with the butt of your dagger. And he punches you with his tankard of beer. What's your AC?
My AC is 15, I believe.
Okay, so he does not critical you with the tankard of beer.
16? 16.
He deals 2 points of damage. Make a saving throw versus death. You are splashed with beer.
Oh
It
my
stains
god.
your clothes and you stink. And then he picks up one of his oars, like the handle, as if to like, it looks like he's going to like try and smack you with it, but it's attached with the boat, and so all it succeeds in doing is throwing the boat off balance, capsizing the little rowboat, and hurling both of you into the ocean.
I probably should have checked if I had a swimming proficiency before I went out to sea.
Do you?
I do, thank God.
All right, make a dexterity check.
I fumble.
Oh, that's a success.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Or were you
Yes,
trying to
I
roll
meant-
low? Or
No,
were
I
you
meant
advised
I fumble for whatever
so
it
I
is.
assume you want. Okay, so I assume you want to stay atop of the capsized boat, not wind up underneath it, or anything like that.
I would like to be beside it so I can turn it over again.
Or you
like
can or you can be on
capsize
top
it?
of it. I mean, that's a pretty good check. You could even stay more or less dry if you'd like.
No, I'm gonna have to flip the boat over to
So you want to.
uncapsize
So
it
you
anyway.
jump over that. You jump from the capsizing boat and land in the water. That's your goal.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So you dive or whatever. I mean, describe to me. You nailed your dex deck. Describe to me how you do it then.
So the boat goes to tip, and as it
Ooh.
tips, I sort of step up on the boat as it's vertical, and then hop off to the side, so it capsizes, and I plop down next to it.
Okay.
Um,
He does more or less the same thing. Surprisingly agilely for an old man,
mhm.
and winds up standing on top of the capsized boat, teetering, still holding the tankard in his hand.
Hi.
I know 'tis my time, sweet death, but I won't go. This old man won't go quietly. Shouts from atop the teetering rowboat at you in the water below. Roll initiative.
Six.
All right. He goes first. Oh man. He goes to throw the tankard at you, but critically fumbles and winds up slipping back overboard on the other side of the rowboat with a splash.
Okay, so he's in the water too.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess on my turn, I will... Oh, he's on the other side of the rowboat from me now?
Yeah.
Excellent. For my turn, I will attempt to righten the boat. Although I think this is my
I
first
assume you have
time
no-
ever doing this.
Yeah, I assume you have no relevant boating proficiencies.
I don't think so. Not unless rope use is going to help me here, or maybe if I can be polite enough to the boat with an etiquette skill, it'll righten itself.
No. Make some sort of check. Some sort of stat check, I mean.
I think it should be like a wisdom check in order to understand how to flip the boat without filling it with water.
Okay. Fine. I feel like you could also use strength or something. Maybe even dexterity. But you give it a shove, but it's heavy, and it lifts off the surface of the water and comes sloshing back down. He's flailing from the other side as well, trying to pull himself on top of the ship. On top of the boat.
I can write in a modern...
Do you have anything on your person that would be damaged by getting submerged in water?
Let's see... My cosmetics, my notebook, my writing kit.
Yeah, make saving throws for all three of those.
Unique saves or independent? One save.
Saves for each item. Each of those three, I think.
So top to bottom, that is the writing kit. This is the notebook. Damn it. And this is the cosmetics.
I'm not going to destroy your spell book, but it is waterlogged and soggy. It will be more cosmetic, but your writing kit is ruined. You'll find once you get back to shore. All the inks and stuff are...
My intention will be to get a new notebook and fill it with transfer my writings from one to the other so I can discard this one eventually. I want a fast notebook.
Yeah. So initiative.
Yeah. Another 6.
You go first.
Alright. I will attempt to write in the boat one more time. I think. And this time I will use Dex instead of Wisdom, because clearly I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to try and do it really, really fast. Hopefully that will keep it from being waterlogged. So, 28.
All right. It takes you the whole round, but you're able to get the boat upright again. His hands come, once the boat is right, his hands try and grip to the far side, but he is unable to get inside. And so you both wind up still on opposite sides of the boat, now upright, struggling to get in.
I want to kill this
Initiative
old man.
again.
Clearly
What's that? You don't want to kill the...
I don't want to kill him, but clearly he thinks he's worthy of dying. So he can't be that good of a person, right? But I'm not here to murder some...
Right. He beats you to the punch and pulls himself up and into the boat. Steadies the oars, and I think starts rowing away. Roll some sort of check to catch hold of the rowboat before it leaves you.
Dex check to grab the rowboat? 23?
All right, you grab hold of the boat as he puts back to oar.
And I will attempt to pull myself up and into the rowboat as well.
You can do that.
Do I need a check, or is it just legit?
We can just roll with that dex check. So you can get your hands on, pull yourself into the boat. You flipped it last round, right?
Yes.
This is a new round? Okay.
Yes.
So you can make some kind of action if you'd like.
I want to... What do you call it? I want to 300 the old man off the end of the boat.
You gonna go kick him?
I want to kick him.
Make a roll to hit.
Go to kick him in the chest.
No. Probably get a bonus for him being sitting, but he's surprisingly agile.
What about a bonus for him being drunk? Like, really drunk?
Nah. This is his natural state.
Oh, that's fair enough. Okay, well, at least I'm not dead yet.
Oh yeah, you have 12 max HP, right?
I do. I'm down to 10. Oh, I see, because my token is off.
Yeah. I can fix it. You're at 10 out of 12?
10 out of 12.
Oh, yeah, from the tankard.
Mm.
All right, and initiative.
Okay, I will go slowly.
Why do you +2? Are you going for a dagger?
I'm going for a dagger. Yeah.
All right, you go simultaneously. I think you surprise him with the dagger, and so you can make. Can you make an opportunity attack on your turn? I think because it's going simultaneously, you won't get the opportunity attack for him making a melee attack. You'll just get one attack, but I'll allow it to be a +4.
Okay, so it'll be. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Got it.
Yeah.
1d20 plus 4.
Like you can't. There's no reactions in this, but yeah. Okay. Okay. So he goes to stands up, goes to try and force you overboard. His eyes go wide as he sees the flash of steel, and you roll some damage.
We'll roll 1d4 plus 0, 2.
Ugh. You got me. He's still alive, but fading fast.
Will stop attempting to harm him and sit back down in the boat and do my best to cradle the old man as he dies. Even if it means cradling him and stabbing him a few more times.
Yeah, that might be where it's going. I think you should still roll initiative. He's still got HP.
Slow.
You still go first. So do you try to stab him again?
Yeah. I want to. I don't want to just outright murder this dude, but I think it's going to come to it. So perhaps that should have been at +3. I would like to grapple the old man so I can be behind him, so I can give him some sort of
make a roll to hit.
death's embrace. Natural 20.
Oh, you get him.
I will
and
grab a hold of the man, position myself behind him somehow, and
make an opposed strength check.
Say, shh, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, not good. So I think you get hands on him, but the wrestling itself doesn't do any damage if you fail the strength check. Is that correct? Is that how unarmed combat works?
Yeah. I definitely can't move him or damage him, I think.
Wrestling. Oh no, I think if you hit, you do deal damage. And then it's if you maybe oppose strength checks to grapple further. All right, so you circle behind him, tighten your grip, and squeeze him into unconsciousness.
Oh, well. He's not dead. Actually, better.
Huh?
I want to double check, make sure that he's not gonna die here. He's not gonna bleed to death on me.
He's still got a pulse.
I'm gonna do my best to bind his wounds by, tearing at his clothes to create bandages as needed.
Okay. Sure, he's not mechanically bleeding out, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yes, you can.
Then
can bind
I will,
his knife wound.
The boat should have some rope in it, so you can tie it up to a dock. So I will see if there's rope in the boat, and I will attempt to tie the man to one of the seats, just in case he wakes up.
All right, you restrain this drunk, unconscious old man.
I inspect my wounds, take a moment to pull up my bag, look through my gear, see what's been fucked up, robe over the
Everything's
loss
soaking
of
wet.
my writing kit, my notebook.
That damage. One of them can be temporary.
Oh, the tankard. Okay.
Yeah. So we can. Another will be recover as normal.
Then I will row with the old man, sort of southward, out here somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
And
Are you logged in as a GM? Sneaky bastard.
how else am I playing?
Are you playing music through Roll20?
Through Roll20, yeah.
Oh.
I thought it would be weird if it played over me while I was talking. Did it through Roll20. Beaky beaky.
Yeah, I
And
could
I'll-
just be DJing, but this is fine.
Good.
You got it. Yeah.
And so then I'll just wait out here with the old man and the boat and pretend to be fishing or hanging out in the water and wait for the sun to go down.
As you're sailing or as you're rowing away, roll a perception check.
24.
There is another rowboat pursuing you, rowing after you.
Interesting. Want to try and make a perception check to see details of the inhabitants?
You just rolled a perception check.
Oh,
you
I did.
can't see details. They're a little too far off. Yeah,
I will.
too far off to make out details. You would guess maybe 2 or 3 people on board. Just based, yeah.
Is there a tarp or anything on in the boat that I can use to cover the body?
Sure. There's a tarp on board.
I'll just put it over the body and then set my backpack over the tarp.
Mm-hmm.
And I will wait. I will wait for them to approach.
You stop rowing and
Yeah. I just wanted to get to down here, somewhere where I would be out of the way.
All right. All right. As the boat gets closer, you can make out 3 figures on board. One rowing, one like standing up, and one sitting down. They get within shouting range, which over open water, maybe 100 yards or so. And they shout to you, "Hail!
I wave and reply, "Hail!
Is everything all right?"
Yes!"
They begin rowing closer. You notice bucket helms of the City Watch on their heads.
I cursed to
Probably
myself.
weapons about.
I will adjust the tarp somewhat. I will sit back down the boat. Adjust the tarp so it's just like kind of covering the head. And if I can, untie the old man from the seat before they get there. Those are my priorities.
Yeah, roll a disguise check. Is your attempt to conceal the body or to make it look like he's...
I'm going to try and play it off as there was a problem and now he's unconscious and I've got the tarp over his face so he's not
So you're
like...
not even trying to conceal the body.
No. I'm going to be like, "Oh, Grandpa just got drunk and fell in the water and we had some problems and we were arguing, but now we're okay and he's unconscious. Please be quiet." Something like that. So I will, put the tarp so it's just over his face, like mostly just over his eyes, and then untie the body. And let the City Watch approach me. I hope 100 yards is enough room to make those actions.
You weren't doing what I was expecting. You can make whatever preparations you wanted. So you untie him, and then you, pull the tarp over him.
Yep.
And they approach, shouting as they approach. "Is everything all right? We saw a struggle from the docks."
Shh. I like whisper them down a little bit and say, "Yeah, it's fine. Grandpa's just..." Give him a look.
They row like right up next to you.
Sure. I will grab
The
onto
guy
their
in
boat
the
to
helm,
stabilize
or
them.
At the stern kind of looks. All right, you catch the prow of their boat as they approach. He sort of looks. Roll a charisma check.
Oh, natural one.
Probably both you and they at the same time notice the swelling blood stain soaking through the tarp. Is this your boat? He says, going for a weapon.
Grandpa's boat.
And what happened to Grandpa? He says, taking a step onto your boat.
There was a struggle. He hurt himself on the boat when we both fell in. I managed to righten it, and we climbed back in, and he passed out. I tried to bind his wounds, and I pointed to the area.
If you'd ever like to roll initiative, let me know. But if not, we're just going to keep escalating or stepping through. So he steps onto your boat and pulls the tarp aside.
I point to the bandaged wounds, as I say. I tried to patch him up after he hurt himself.
Why were you rowing away from shore instead of back for help?
Guess he'll be fine.
I don't think you will. Grandpa's dying.
What?
You'll have to come with us.
Yeah, he'll wake up in a little bit. He loves the sea air.
He nods to one of the other guards, who also starts approaching your boat.
All right.
And if you don't resist, they are going to attempt to bind your hands.
I will definitely resist if they try to bind my hands.
Okay. How does that resisting look?
Oh God, Ryan. You're gonna make me kill the city watch. You know how that resisting looks? It looks like a Nahal's Reckless Dwemer aimed at their face. I am intending to cast Unseen Servant, but instead I'm casting Nahal's Reckless Dwemer. Let's do this shit.
Alright. Shall we roll the Wild Surge when we get back from break, or is this too exciting? I think your channel is getting raided by, I don't know, a bunch of sleeping streamers that aren't you. I don't understand. Other people sleep on Twitch?
I don't know, man. It's beyond me, but let's do it now. Let's Wild Surge that shit.
They are not mechanically surprised, but they certainly weren't expecting you to cast a spell. What is Nahal's Reckless Streamer is actually kind of slow, isn't it?
I think it's
Lemur.
Is it casting time 5? Let's see. Casting time 5.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. For first level spell, so bizarre.
I'm waffling on whether to let you get this spell off before. Let's just go. Let's just start with the Wild Surge.
All right. So level variation first.
Level 1.
1d20, 18. So I cast it as one level higher. Okay. And then 1d 100. Right. Just a 1d 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you rolled your d100? 48.
What happens?
Spell affects random target within 60 feet of the caster. You did a Unseen Servant. What's that?
All right. Yep. I Unseen Servant. The attempt, I guess, would be to Unseen Servant and like destabilize a person standing on a boat. But if it affects a random person within range, there are 4 people here. So I don't know if it's going to affect anyone.
Does that mean a random person gets to control the Unseen Servant, or does that mean? I think it just fizzles. Do we re-roll if the Wild Surge doesn't make sense, or do we?
That's up to you.
Keep it.
I was going to say maybe I tell it to shove like If the intent is that the person is
Yeah.
binding my hands, if the intent is to shove them over with the unseen servant, maybe it.
Yeah, I think we're
tries
gonna
to
have
shove
there will
random
be
person.
a wild and unpredictable unseen servant whose effects are random within the area. So you
Okay.
summon the unseen
Fuck
servant,
me.
and it attempts to shove. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's you. You conjure the unseen servant, and it shoves you. I don't think it can actually shove, so it will just impose a minor penalty. Let's say a -2 to things for this round.
It can push or pull 40 pounds. That's not a lot of force.
But probably enough to impose a small penalty.
Yeah, maybe enough to
are
destabilize
there
someone
any-
who's already
Yeah.
tipping.
Are there any visuals associated with this spell, with the Wild Surge, or is it?
Not unless you declare it to be so.
Okay. No, I mean I was asking you. You can say no.
No.
You can say it was pretty discreet.
No, I think there's some somatic and verbal components to it, but other than that, it's in this situation, the unseen servant has no visual effects, and so the wild surge has no visual effects. Okay.
So the guard attempts to restrain you. Oops.
mentioned-
Missing. Maybe it was the fact that the unseen servant shoved you out of the way. And the boat starts rocking.
You mentioned these guys have bucket helms.
Yeah.
They have other armor.
Leather armor. I don't think it will impair their swimming too much, but
Okay.
all right.
I don't want them to arrest me. That's the worst possible outcome, is being arrested. So I guess it's time to. I have no idea what to do.
Come
Brian.
quietly, and this will go a lot smoother, says the guy standing over the old man. Let's roll initiative, actually. All right, they're slow, so you get another round to react. Does Unseen Servant require concentration
Let's
to like get it to do something new?
Cannot fight, nor can it be killed. I suppose it will take at least a small amount of concentration to send it to do things.
It doesn't say
maybe-
anything about it. I don't think it's meant to be used in combat.
Certainly not. I would imagine it like you move it with you, as long as you are moving it, you are concentrating on it. So if I have to move it, the full distance it can go, maybe that takes a whole round, and then I have to concentrate on the whole round. But if I only want to move it like 10 feet, maybe it only takes a few seconds of concentration. It'd be like physically moving an item, but
I don't think
mentally.
so.
No.
I think it can do whatever you.
Okay.
It doesn't say that it. Yeah. It doesn't say that it requires concentration. A lot of spells specifically say that if you cast another spell or do something else, that it ceases to function. But I think it's fine. All right, so you can go, and your Unseen Servant can do something else. It looks like it has about strength of 6.
About.
Yeah, based on its weight. Oh no, 5? Or sorry, 4-ish. We'll say 4. Yeah, 4 seems reasonable.
Okay.
So it can make attack rolls with a -2 to hit for 0 damage.
Okay.
Which seems like it gets a -1, right? It can make unarmed attacks that do 1 damage -1 for the strength adjustment. Seems fair
Right.
enough.
That seems fair enough. So I
But it
would
can
really be
used
just
to, like,
used to push or
manipulate
pull.
objects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm going to do for my turn. I'm going to intentionally tip my boat. I'm going to grab, what is it called? The piece that goes across the boat that you would sit on? The bench? The seat?
It's a bench, sure.
Bench. I'm going to grab onto the bench, take a deep breath of air, and try and tilt the boat so it is capsized, and I'm underneath it and able to breathe the air trapped under the boat.
All right. This sounds like a strength check to me.
Yes, sir. Not a good enough strength check, though. A bad
Are you
strength
using
check,
the
some might
unseen
say.
servant to help you?
Yes, I am.
All right, roll it again. But you need like a 15 or higher or something. 16 or higher.
21?
No, because it wouldn't be with you. It'd be with the unseen servant strength.
Oh, I see.
So you begin rocking the boat, but the other guards attempt to stabilize it. The ones on your boat actually lose their turns, like rocking and stabilizing the boat. And then the other guard like backs his boat away to like avoid getting caught up in your mess. So you're now rocking on this boat with 2 guards and an old man on it, and rolling initiative.
All right, I'm gonna try the same thing again. What is the initiative for capsizing a boat?
3.
3. I dig it. 7 on the initiative die.
You win.
Okay, and I will try to capsize uno mas. So here's my strength check. 20. The unseen servant just like give me a +1. It's assisting rather than its own strength check.
There's no.
Well, then I will give it its strength check. 1d20 plus. You said it has 4 strength.
I think it's 4 or 5.
Ah.
No. You're rocking the boat. I'm gonna require them to make checks to see. Oh God. So I think everyone is just losing their turn. You're like rocking the boat violently back and forth. It's not tipping. It's basically a bathtub. It's sloshing side to side. The guards are forced to take their turns trying to stabilize the boat until they can successfully pass a check. And we're just taking rounds by. Roll initiative.
Will keep doing my same shit. Rock the boat.
They're
the boat.
shouting nondescript rabble. I don't think you're going to obey any of their commands anyways, so we can just ignore what exactly they're saying.
And I rock
You
the
go
boat.
just before them, and you eventually tip it over.
And the attempt is to be on the underside so I can still breathe while everyone else splashes in the water.
Roll a dexterity check.
24.
All right. If you would like to wind up underneath the capsized boat, you can do so.
I would, sir.
Right.
And with a 24, can I... It's gonna sound crazy pants, but can I pull myself up under the boat and like move myself in a position so I'm actually like on between the boat and the bench across my belly and like plank that way so I'm not in the water? So if someone were to like dip their head underwater, they wouldn't see me. Essentially like laying down in the boat, but it's upside down, so I would be laying against the underside of the bench, which is now the top side of the bench.
Yeah, you can lay down on the surface of the water underneath the boat.
That's the plan.
All right. Floating next to you is the body of the old man. And there's no signs of the guards. Face down. Roll... Oh, no, don't roll a thing. What's your unseen servant doing?
I am going to try and use the unseen servant to rotate the old man in the water so that he is face up.
All right, you can do that.
I'm going to save this guy's life.
All right, you hear thumping resonating through the this little air pocket underneath the boat. There's some commotion on the surface, but
That there is.
all right, here you are. What do you do on the next round?
Go to a break?
All right.
So I can
See you
think
guys on
about
the
my
other side.
plans. Bye-bye.